Hello and welcome to the St Kilda and Bayside report for this spring of 2014. I'm Gary Peer.
And I'm Jeremy Rosens, and Gary, the winter's over almost, isn't it?
It's over, spring
Finally.
is in the air, it's a beautiful thing. Flowers are in bloom and the real estate market is happening. It's the racing season, so there's horses over there, there's houses over here, it's all happening.
I think you're the only one that really concentrates to such an extent on both housing and horses.
No, that's not
How you
true.
put it together is an amazing feat,
That's
Gary.
not, it's just one letter apart, Jeremy, that's not true. But there is so much going on in the marketplace. It's an exciting time.
There
The
is.
clearance rates have been terrific. We've got some updates on some of the properties we reviewed last time around. And we've got a cafe review as well today.
We thought we'd
A
mix
St
things
Kilda
up a little
cafe.
bit, Gary. So
Why
we're
not?
going to talk a little bit about that cafe, which
Good idea.
we will name later on in the show.
Okay, now it was a month ago or so that we sat in a similar position,
Yes.
but in a different home, in
did.
Nottage Street,
We
in
did.
St Kilda East, and you promised at that time to inform viewers what happened or was going to happen. Did it get sold?
Well, you did let the cat out of the bag just
Yep.
a little bit in regards to when the auction was, that something might happen pre-auction.
Yes, and was I right?
You were right, Gary.
There was no bum steers.
As
Gary
rare
Pearson.
as that is, you
Yeah,
were right, and
exactly
it sold
right.
for $1,220,000. Lior Samuel, Elza Schilling, and Aviv Samuel were the eventual sellers of that property, and a great price for a great home.
Now, there's been some popular properties around. Another feature property was in Alma Road.
Yes.
Apartment 4 at 198 Alma Road. I did have the
Indeed.
honour of doing the auction. You want to
You
tell us
did
a little
not,
bit about
Gary. You did not. You were a week later and up the road. I did the auction there, but that's okay. That's okay. Hopefully by next episode, the senility will have left you and not set in even further.
I thought you were going to review my terrific result, but
Well, you did
talk
a good
about
job,
yours.
but that
Okay.
one had 3, maybe even 4 bidders. My
Yep.
memory is probably
Which one
a bit
now we're
better
talking
than
about?
yours. Unit 4 at 198 Alma, the one
Okay.
that I did.
Yep. Tell
4
us what
bidders.
happened.
Eventual selling price was $487,000. Competitive auction.
What was the
And
reserve?
a good apartment. Reserve was $470.
Okay, very good. Because I did one just up the road.
You
and
did.
It sold for over 600,000.
Yes, we
Reserve
didn't
was
review
under
that last week, so we're not going to review it now, Gary,
Right.
because it's gone.
What else have you got to tell us about, Mr. Rose?
Number 1, Cruise Street. We had a
Yep.
great auction there. We talked about it last month, the Dick Whittington Hotel.
Yes.
This is just in the side street behind.
Right
a
next
fabulous
door.
3-bedroom,
Walk
one of
to
a
the
pair.
Dick Whittington Hotel and crawl home.
It was a very delicate auction, Gary, because
Yep.
we didn't want to make mention too much of the Dick Whittington Hotel.
Why not?
Well, because there are so many things that you could come up with, whether
Okay.
it's walking home drunk, like you've just said, or not needing to buy
Fair
food
enough.
because you can just eat your
Yeah.
parma in a pot next door.
You can.
Nevertheless, Gary,
What happened?
hyper competitive auction.
Yep.
Reserve 820, I think.
Yep.
Sold under intense competition for $905,000. A terrific result.
Terrific. What else happened last time?
Last month we reviewed Unit 5 at 13 Lansdowne Road in St Kilda East. That
Yep.
also went to auction last weekend. Competitive auction there again. Lovely 2-bedroom on the first floor. That sold for $432,500. Good result. Happy vendor, happy buyer. There was one other property we reviewed, Gary.
Hang on, just stop there for a second.
Yes.
That was a 2-bedroom apartment?
It was.
So, I mean, I reckon to get a 2-bedroom apartment between $400 and $450 is still good value. You know, I've
It
got
is
to
good
say
value.
that.
And
I
it was
mean,
a good apartment.
I know it was a good apartment. I know it was a good price. It was
Yeah.
competition and the rest of it. But you know, it's not going to be long until 500 is the absolute entry into
It
the
will
market
become
for a
that
two-bedroom.
sort of platform
Yeah.
of where you need to kind of raise the bar from that level, but it won't be long before the 2-bedders are worth that.
Yep, absolutely. Sorry, I stopped your flow.
You did,
Next.
but that's all right,
Yeah.
Gary, because I remembered where I was. Unit 10, 3 to 5, Daly Street in Elwood.
Are you
We
suggesting
reviewed
that I wouldn't have remembered?
I don't think you know anything, Gary. I'm
Okay.
surprised we were able to wheel you out of the hospital just for this morning.
That's good. Yeah,
And
well,
if those people
was
with
I
the
in
white
hospital?
coats just behind us, if they could just stay back a little bit, he'll be
wonder
back
what they
in
were
the
doing.
home shortly.
I wonder what they were doing there. Yeah, I wanna talk
Unit
to
10,
some
it did sell before auction, Gary, in Elwood. Daniel Reese got that one away for $725,000.
Yep.
Good
Okay.
result. Not sure whether there was a great deal of competition. I think there were probably a couple of buyers, but we
Yep.
sold that pre-auction.
Yep, fair enough.
So it was a big, great 2-bedroom apartment
Yep.
and 2-bed, 2-bath.
Well, 700, north of 700 is getting up there.
Yeah,
It's getting
well,
up
look,
there in
Elwood's
terms of
a
apartment
pretty
living.
valuable suburb
It
too,
is a
Gary.
terrific suburb and continues to perform well,
It
having
does
been
indeed.
named earlier this year as the #1 preferred investor location throughout, not just Melbourne,
No, not Melbourne.
Australia.
Not even just Victoria,
No.
Gary. Not the southern, eastern
Yeah, I've already said
seaboard.
Australia.
Yeah,
so,
you have.
Yeah,
Good.
there's no more tension
No
left in that.
problems. We're done.
Tell us what's coming up, Mr. Rosens, and then
Gary,
we'll jump to our cafe review.
But before we do that, Gary,
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about where we are right now.
Well, why don't you do
this
that?
living area is superb.
It is. I'm loving this view too.
How good
looking
is the
out,
view?
Looking out over the horizon towards the north. So
You've got the city that way.
Yes.
You've got the Windsor Castle.
Yep.
Just behind
The
us
ele-
here.
the elephants are there.
Pink elephants are just there.
Pink
I'm not sure
elephants.
whether that it's in shot, but just on my right shoulder there
Yep.
is 3 pink elephants.
I thought we
That
only
is the
saw
Windsor
that.
Castle.
Oh, I thought you only saw that in your dreams, something
Well,
like that.
Yeah. Well,
Those
won't
sort of
take that any
hallucinatory
further.
words. Yeah.
Anyway, Gary, we're at 69 Wellington Street.
We are.
We're on the first floor here at Unit
Yep.
6. This is a fabulous 2-bedroom apartment, very modern. This fantastic open plan area is superb.
I like this flow out to the balcony too.
Perfect, and it's
It's
a
big,
balcony.
all north. It's a
It's
terrace.
like a terrace, correct,
It is
Gary?
a terrace
And
and a
with
great
city
kitchen,
views.
well appointed. What's the price range here?
That's a good question, Gary.
Yeah, you don't
That's
have
a
the
very-
answer, do
I
you?
do. I have
Oh,
the
good.
answer. Indeed, I do.
I'll catch him.
We're going to be
Yeah.
quoting $460,000 to $505,000, which I got to tell you, Gary.
Yeah.
I reckon that represents great value in St Kilda. Fitzroy Street that way, the
Parking?
city that way. Got parking. In fact, Gary, we've got parking for 2 here.
Really?
Not 1, but 2.
Fantastic.
And we might even throw in a set of steak knives to the buyer.
Very good. Well, they could do a lot worse. Tell us about the auction date and time for this again,
Auction
please.
date is going to be on the 20th of September, Gary.
Right here in Wellington Street. Chapel Street that way, City that way,
Fitzroy
Fitzroy
Street,
Street that way.
The beach over
Dining, nightlife, restaurants, cafes.
Doesn't get any better,
shopping.
Gary. Right in the heart of it here.
What else you got for us?
Well, we a couple of months ago we reviewed one of the apartments in the post office, and I'm pleased to say that another one's come up, and that has now since been donged and sold, gone.
Donged?
$555,000. We're moving on. We've got one left in the post office.
Yep.
You want to make some silly joke
I
about
was thinking
the
about
letters
you
or
know,
something?
Get your mail,
you
yeah.
always do it.
I'm not going to. Go on. I don't like being predictable.
That was supposed to go to auction the same weekend as this very apartment, but
Yep.
well, it's now sold, Gary. So
Very good.
you can probably
So
keep
that
your
wasn't
powder
really
dry.
a review. That was just a little boast, wasn't it?
Just wanted to let the
Just a little
let the
boast.
viewers know.
Yeah, if you wanted it,
that
too
it's
bad.
sold.
But there is one left,
Bad
you're
luck.
saying.
Yes,
Is
there
that
is
right?
one left.
Okay, is that coming up
2
for
bed,
auction?
2 bath. That's well, we're probably going to roll that into an auction shortly.
Okay.
But it is available now if
Yeah.
you wanted to buy it.
Hurry up and
on the
avoid the
second
auction.
floor. Give
Yeah.
us a call. We'll take you through, and you can buy it straight away. Great value in the heart of St Kilda.
And you'll never have a problem with your mail at the post office. What's the next one, Jeremy?
Where do you go from there?
I got
Gary?
him.
I
I got
don't
him.
know. Unit
Next.
2, 300 to 302 Inkerman Street. This is pretty cool stuff. This is
Yep.
a 3-level
Yes.
townhouse. Great accommodation.
Yep.
Not sure how many in the block, but it's a boutique block. That's going to be somewhere in that sort of high 6s, early 7s. If we're lucky, it'll push beyond that.
Terrific.
That's going to auction on the 12th of October.
Yep.
And I think Philip, you know
Yep.
Philip Kingston?
I know Philip.
Yeah, he's a good guy,
Yeah.
Philip. He's going to do the auction down there on in October there. And there's one other place I want to review, Gary.
Go for it. Do it.
27 Henryville Street in St Kilda.
I like that spot.
This has
It's a good
just,
street.
the ink is not even dry on the authority.
Yep.
We're going
It's
to
hot off the press. Do we have a photo to show you?
We have a photo, Gary.
good. Geez,
we
you're
have
well
a photo.
organised this
We don't
time
muck
round.
around. We don't muck around.
Fantastic.
This is the most gorgeous picture postcard facade. Beautiful Victorian, 2-bed weatherboard,
Nice.
updated. Got potential for off-street parking at the back. This will probably sell into the 7s, whether it's
That's good
750,
value.
whether it's a little bit higher.
That's good value for a house,
and
isn't it?
Very cute house, Gary, as the photos will show.
Very good. So we've got a bit coming up. The date and time for that again?
Well, we're going to be trying to sell it straight away. Well, it's available straight away, but if you can't get in there straight away,
Okay.
we'll be auctioning that on the 18th of October.
Very good.
Which
That is the
literally,
review.
it's just around the corner, Gary.
Now the clearance rates have been pretty good, haven't they?
Well and truly up, Gary.
Where are you seeing them mostly?
We're
around?
probably
Most
sitting
weekends?
somewhere between 80 and 90% at the moment.
Fantastic.
And those that aren't selling,
Yeah.
bizarrely, well not bizarrely, but they are selling within 5 to 7 days pretty quickly normally. So the
Terrific.
market is, I would say, hot.
It is hot, isn't it?
As the weather is getting hotter, as too is the market.
You're full of it today, aren't you?
I've got it all, Gary. I've got
It
it all.
being, cliches and knowledge, not any other sort of it.
You didn't have to, you didn't have to put your foot further in your mouth there,
No,
Gary.
I just thought I'd qualify it.
Yes.
Jeremy, you promised to review a cafe in the
I
area.
did.
So let's talk about now.
This is my favourite cafe in the area for a number of different reasons. The staff are awesome.
Yes.
The coffee is perfect.
Yes.
Just that right temperature. They do my piccolo lattes perfectly. They do the
Yep.
short mac, beautiful. Great people.
Any
and the
chance
salads
of
are
revealing
amazing.
the name?
Well, I need a bit of a drum roll.
Yep.
Harper's Kitchen on Inkerman Street.
Yep.
At the moment, in my opinion, probably one of the best cafes going around. Go down there, tell them Gary, Pierre and Jeremy sent you,
Yep.
and no doubt you'll be looked after. Even if you don't tell them, you'll be looked after because good food, good company,
Yeah.
great location.
What's the name of the guy there? He's a lovely guy. What's the name of the chap?
There's a few. There's a few guys. It
the
depends
boss.
if it's... Well, the boss is not a he. The boss is a she.
Oh, okay.
Hannah's the boss.
Hannah, thank you.
And her partner in crime on the weekends,
Yeah.
Yusuf. He's
Yusuf.
only there on the weekends.
Oh, is he? That's who
He's
I
an
think of.
effervescent fellow.
He is. He's a
He's
very
a man of the
excitable,
people.
positive and energetic guy.
Yes,
Isn't he?
he's got out of baristering and he's now into plumbing.
Any special dish that you can tell us about?
Any salad they have on the
Yeah.
menu is awesome. They do a beautiful Japanese curry.
Okay.
And Daniel Mick who was on the show not so long ago, I reckon every day he gets the same sandwich from there, which is a little chicken focaccia. It's as boring as ever, but it's so tasty.
Fair enough. Well, you know something good, you can stick with it, can't you?
Yes, Gary.
It is all happening, Jeremy. Spring is here. The results are good. The offerings are good.
Football
the interest
finals
rates are
are here,
low.
Gary.
The finals are here. The races are on.
Races. Always the races.
Not always.
It's like everything leads to the races with you.
Don't be like that.
So
everything,
one-dimensional.
everything is happening. And Melbourne, you wouldn't want to be anywhere else in the world, would you? And right here in Melbourne.
And if you
does
wanted
it get
to be
any
in
better than
Melbourne,
the-
you'd need to be here in
That's
St
it.
Kilda, because this is where the action is, Gary.
St Kilda and the Bayside. And this time next month, we'll be back on air with lots of stuff going on because it's an active,
be a lot busier, Gary.
vibrant, exciting time of year. If you're a buyer out there, jump into the market because even though it's hot and prices have moved up, it doesn't look like they're going to stop. It looks like they're going to keep on going. So jump in, get your investment, get your new home, upgrade, or if you need to, downgrade, but trade because that's good for our business.
It's good for them too, Gary.
Of course it is.
Because it'll create wealth.
It will create wealth.
And we're in the business of creating wealth and
are.
happiness
And providing
everyone.
shelter for the masses.
Yes,
That's what we do.
Yes, indeed, Gary. You sound like you're the Statue of Liberty, isn't that what's written underneath?
Here is something like that. Here is the St Kilda and Bayside report for spring. We hope it's given you some inspiration to do something in property or at least go to a great cafe. Look forward to seeing you next time. I'm Gary Peer.
I'm Jeremy. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.